The students here care very deeply about many, many things. I think Brandeis students are very willing to help each other.
One of the things that makes Brandeis so special is like the amount of communities that you can join.
Brandeis has been fundamental to building my love for learning more and helping me grow as a student. Peer-to-peer mentorship really is rooted in Brandeis values. So as a Pride rep, it's a peer mentorship and education program.
What goes into being a Pride rep is like a lot of like love and dedication. Having someone that looks like you and has gone through your same experiences telling you that it's going to be okay and that you're going to succeed and that there are people on the way to help you just means so much more.
Peer-to-peer mentorship lets you connect and lets the people who you're mentoring connect with you very deeply, because there's less of like a power dynamic than like meeting with an academic advisor or like a faculty member or something like that. Instead, it's somebody who's had the same or a similar Brandeis experience to you.
One of the things that I feel like I would take away from my experience as a Pride rep was the value of your story, and that like no one can tell it your experience the way you can, and that like even though everyone wants to see like facts and figures, nothing's more valuable than what you had to experience, what you had to see, which like constantly they're teaching you like, no, you have to like come with the hard data. And it's like, no, you are the hard data. I think for me, the GSC really gave me a safe space. Like, even though I don't identify as queer, I like really resonate with the mission that it's also a space for women.
Learning and educating is one of the best way to help people. And the GSC has let me grow as an educator, but has also let me learn. It's also showed me the importance of advocacy, and advocacy at many different levels, from a one-to-one level of just supporting someone all the way to organizing massive events. So I am curious, why did you apply to the GSC?
When I saw it on Workday, I was like, oh, this sounds like kind of cool. I was reading through the description. I was like, I guess I'll like try it out. Like, I liked the idea of like being a peer mentor and like the mission that it was saying. So I was like, well, we'll just see if I even like get a call back for an interview. We'll see how it goes. And then I ended up getting one. I'm glad I did, because like seeing that like Julian, who is Latinx, and then Julie, who's Asian, like having like people of color be my interviewers, which you don't really see that, was really exciting. And being like, it was really welcoming. Like from the get-go, I was like, oh, this is someone I can connect with right off the bat. I don't have to like take a moment to explain like this little aspect of like one of the interview questions.
No, I think I feel like very similarly, especially like in my interview, like talking about like my identity and my transness. And then I think it was one of the first environments I've been in where it wasn't like an othering thing, because even in environments that are inclusive, it's still like a descriptor or like a category. Whereas I feel like at the GSC, it's just, I mean, this is a little cliche, but like the idea of like, it's just an intersectional environment where it's like, when I'm there, I'm just Alex. And like the other identities are like valued and like honored, but it's not like sort of singled out as like what's valuable. Like I think really the GSC works really well at like seeing us as humans, which is kind of cool. Being able to like be the people who are building up a safe space has been a really wonderful experience, at least for me, because I know like, yes, I have friends who come and like enjoy the space, but I've also just met people or reconnected with people who like I hadn't talked to before, haven't talked to since like orientation week in my first year, things like that, where like I found that people are seeking me out to say like, hey, I know you have this position. Can we chat? Like I ran into somebody in Gosman and they were like, is this weird? And I was like, this is literally my job. Please come talk to me.
It's also really cool to like just know that it's a resource. Like for my fellowship, we got to call like all the newly admitted students to like get into Gender Brandeis. And I remember one of them I had to call and was like, hey, so what would happen if I were to get like a homophobic or a transphobic roommate? Because like you don't really get to pick who you live with. And the fact that I was able to be like, the GSC has you. Like we have a whole resource guide. We have people who like have connections to housing, and like do not worry if that were to happen, because we have people you can talk to. Being able to just say that like it's okay, and being able to give someone a tangible peace of mind was cool.
And I think, like, jumping off of that, like, thinking back to myself as a first year, I think I would have benefited so much from, like, this program and having, like, a peer mentor, because I came into Brandeis from a fairly, like, not necessarily conservative environment, but maybe just an environment that's not as educated on all topics. Thinking about how now, like, I'm the person that I might have needed as a first year has been really, really cool to reflect on, because I think that's just one of the wonderful ways in which we grow. And the peer mentors that we have at, like, the Pride Reps, it's not like any of us are just Pride Reps, which I think is one of the best things. And one of the values of peer mentorship is that, like, our role isn't just an educator through the GSC. All of us, like, some of us are community advisors, some of us are UDRs, some of us, like, are involved in other clubs on campus. And so it's more, I think, well-rounded.
Definitely feel that, because like even with little things like coming after like trainings and like coming like really excited to like my roommate or like my friends who are in, because they're all in STEM basically, and be like, this is like a cool new thing that I learned about gender and sexuality, or like to think about things, or like we didn't know that either. So just like this like little things was like, okay, now like I just learned something, so now I can like teach other people, and then they can just go teach other people, and just seeing how like excited people get. And I don't know, it's like kind of cute being like, wow, like thank you for telling me that. I'm like,
I think, like, there's almost a butterfly effect with,
Yeah.
like, our mentorship and our training, because, like, we started out little caterpillars and, like, we've learned and we've grown, but now, like, our ability to help others is then having those people be able to help their friends in their life, or they connect their friends to us. And I think it's very, like, it's an interwoven community rather than, like, a linear relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things the GSC has been working on throughout the past couple of years that's really culminating with the Pride Rep program.
I guess the type of legacy that I hope to leave behind is like one of like inclusion and just like a safe space for all people, especially for like people of color, because I know a lot of people of color are starting to be a little more hesitant about going to the center, but like leaving it that of like it is a safe space for everybody. You can use this, you can take up the space, and like knowing that if you have the passion for anything relating to the GSC, there will be someone there to support you, even if they're not like one of the administrators. There's going to be a student there, and just like being like, okay, hey, like there is something that you can do, and there is a place for you.
Before coming to Brandeis, I didn't really felt like I belonged somewhere. And, like, Brandeis has become my home. And more than that, like, with this year, like, the GSC has become my home. In his writing, Mitch Albom really encapsulates the feeling of community and the feeling of home. And I think within Tuesdays with Morrie, that's contextualized at Brandeis. And I think that's really what brought me here. When I was leaving high school, I was looking for home. And I mean, 3 years later, Brandeis is my home.